Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I get the point. Don't remind me. Because if you are anywhere on this earth, then you probably have plenty of reminders that Valentine's is tomorrow. I think we've been getting reminded about Valentine's since like December, right? So there's plenty of reminders everywhere. And for some people in a relationship, it's just something to look forward to. But for many people who are single and are wanting to be in a relationship, then tomorrow could be really difficult because there's a reminder that they don't yet have something that they want. I think we could all relate to being in that situation where you're at your job, you're at the workplace, maybe the office, wherever it is that you are, and every time the door opens, there's a bouquet of flowers walking through. You could barely see the person holding them because they're so big. Or there's balloons coming through the door, and cards, and chocolates, and all these different things. Or you're driving down the street and there's tents with giant teddy bears that say I love you on them. So, plenty of opportunity for a single person to be reminded that they're single. And Valentine's Day is the one day out of the year where people connect validation with certain actions. And what do I mean? Well, as you're at the job, let's just use that example, and you're seeing the bouquet of flowers come in for your coworker, it's really easy to feel like, wow, they're cared for, and I'm not. Because again, we're reminded so much of what we don't have that it becomes um, really challenging. And although something's going on around us, then there's also something that happens internally. We start to create meaning with that stuff. And as a result, we could start feeling really bad. Some people get depressed or sad, or there's all kinds of negative emotions that happen when we're constantly reminded of something that we don't have and that we want. So I wanted to do this video just for you. If you are in that situation where you're feeling bad about Valentine's, you're feeling left out maybe, or like maybe there's something wrong with you, which can often come with situations like this, then I wanted to give you two really easy ways to defeat some of those negative feelings. Doesn't change the circumstance, but it can definitely help change the way that you're feeling about it. So here they are, and they're really easy. The first thing that you could do, if you're feeling like any of the things that I mentioned, then it's really likely that someone in your life is feeling the same way. Maybe it's a coworker who, while she's at work with you or he's at work with you, is seeing the same thing and having that same reaction. Or maybe it's a neighbor or someone that lost their spouse, a widow. It could be a single parent in your neighborhood or a teacher. I mean, there's so many people in our lives that could also be experiencing some of those similar emotions. So, one of the ways that you could help with this situation is by stepping in and filling that void for that person. How could you do this? Well, really easy. You could go to the store, the dollar store. I mean, wherever. It just really depends on your particular circumstances, and buy box of chocolates, some cards, balloons for one of those people, and be the Valentine for them. I mean, it's proven that when we step out of our own situations or look outside of our own circumstances and do something for someone else, that we're going to feel better. Because the truth is that when that person has that surprise on their face, or that smile, or maybe even tears, depending on where they are in their life, you playing a role in that could be really significant, not only for them, but it could make you feel better too. So that would be the one way that you could do it. And then another way would be for you to do something special for yourself. A lot of times we could be really hard on ourselves. We're constantly thinking about what we don't do right, what we don't have, what we didn't do, what we could have done better. How nice would it be for us to just take a day to appreciate what we are doing well, who we are, what we've overcome? And one way to do that is by doing something special for ourselves. So if you're out and about and you do see that beautiful bouquet of flowers, why not buy it for yourself? And when you take it home and set it wherever you're going to have it at home, think of something about you that you're really appreciative for, or something that you overcame that you never thought that you could. And by doing these two things, again, it doesn't change the circumstance, but it can really change the way that your mind is responding to this. And maybe it's something you'll look back at one day and be grateful for. Some of the most difficult things we go through in life end up being the best things that shape us. So doesn't mean that they're easy or that they're fair, but it means that we could really grow from them. So I hope those two things helped. If they do and you try them, I'd love to hear how it went. I'm Until next time, take care of yourselves.